Well, this evening, the Broward School Board got an earful from a state senator who says the governor is wrong and that children should be required to wear masks when they return to school.
CBS 4's Carly Barnett is live with that and more in Fort Lauderdale. Carly?
Lauren Elliott, I mean, these numbers really speaking for themselves at this point. We spoke to the chief of critical care here at Memorial, who describes the influx of patients that they're seeing as a surge, one that he says could be the worst yet. But one thing is very clear, this is not the time to be letting our guard down.
We're seeing a very, very steep rise in the amount of patients that are coming into the hospitals.
It's a trend we've been seeing over the last month, rising hospitalizations in South Florida.
Patients in their 20s, 30s, patients in their 40s and 50s. We are seeing the whole gamut.
Dr. Aaron Sorelli is the chief of critical care at Memorial. He says this could be the biggest surge yet. Memorial had a COVID high in July of 2020 of 673. Now there are 525 COVID patients. That's up 300 from 2 weeks ago.
This year, we are truly seeing the patients that are not getting vaccinated as the overwhelming majority of patients sick enough to require hospitalization.
It's not just in Broward. Based on a survey conducted last week, the Florida Hospital Association says 96% of those hospitalized with COVID across the state are unvaccinated. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says there are more than 11,500 COVID patients in Florida hospitals. That's up from Sunday's high of 10,207.
We follow that very closely. It went up very sharply throughout most of July. Towards the end of last month, it started to stabilize. We've basically been plateau, so we're looking to see that roll over.
At a news conference in West Miami-Dade, the governor acknowledged the rising hospitalizations, but believes it will go back down.
We're not shutting down. We're going to have schools open. We're protecting every Floridian's job in this state.
And this is all happening as the start of the school year is approaching with full capacity classrooms. State Senator Gary Farmer, who is also an attorney, addressed the Broward School Board on the governor's executive order banning mask mandates.
The Florida Constitution specifically vests the power and authority to make education decisions in the local school boards.
Last week, the Broward School Board voted to make masks mandatory in school buildings, but they reversed that decision and made them optional after the governor's order.
There is no state of emergency declared in the state of Florida, so his ability to issue any kind of executive order is extremely limited. And finally, his threat to withhold funding from the school districts is again a violation of the Constitution.
Dr. Sorelli says no matter what, there are precautions that we all need to be taking right now to get these numbers going back down.
It's like we're all going back to basics, right? The mask wearing indoors, the hand washing, the distancing, and of course, as the doctor says, getting vaccinated, all ways to prevent COVID-19. Now, he did say there has not been a huge surge of child patients, but there are 7 children hospitalized, according to Mayor Steve Geller at Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital with COVID, 2 of those in the ICU. Now, regarding the Broward School District and the mask policy, they did not discuss it further. That meeting was specifically a budget meeting. They didn't say whether or not they're going to revisit the issue. Live, Carly Barnett, CBS 4 News Tonight.